Hello everyone, welcome to SWAM course on microbial technology. Today's topic is translation regulation in eukaryotes. I am Soumya Khare from Chhattisgarh Swami Vivekanand Technical University, Durg. Topic discussed in previous lecture, translation regulation in prokaryotes. Discuss why every cell does not express all its gene all the time. Describe how prokaryotic gene regulations occur at the transcription level. Describe how the initiation complex control translation. Explain the different way in which the post-translation control of gene expression take place. The topic to be covered in this lecture, after completion of this course, the student would understand different shells in a multicellular organism which express very different sets of genes, even though they contain the same DNA. Understand the process of translation and discuss its key factor. Discuss how eukaryotic gene regulation occur at the epigenetic, transcription, post-transcription, translation and post-translation level. Content of today's topic: introduction, difference in the regulation of gene expression between prokaryotes and eukaryotes, regulation of translation in eukaryotes. Here the 5 way in which we understand how the regulation of translation in eukaryotes occurred: regulation through change in gene, regulation at the of the level of transcription, regulation by chromatin remodeling, regulation during processing and transport of mRNA, regulation at the translational level. Then we understand translation control of gene expression, post-translation control of gene expression, significance, summary and references. Introduction. Gene regulation is the process of controlling which gene in a cell DNA are expressed. That means used to make a functional product such as protein. As we know that the central dogma of molecular biology stand for the DNA converting to mRNA through the process of transcription, then mRNA convert to protein through the process of translation, and finally make the protein come into the regulation way. The translation of RNA into protein occur in the cytoplasm. After it has been transferred there, the RNA molecule has a major role in controlling this procedure. The translation of the RNA into a protein will be significantly influenced by stability. The duration that it available for translation vary among with the stability. Because protein are involved in every stage of gene regulation, the phosphorylation of a protein, which is depend upon the protein that is modified, can alter accessibility to the chromosome, can alter translation by altering transcription factor binding or functions, can change nuclear shuffling by influencing modification to the nuclear pore complex, and can alter the RNA stability by binding or not binding to the RNA to regulate its stability, can modify translation increase or decrease, or can change post translation modification, add or remove phosphate in other chemical modification. This is the image for the localization of gene regulation. The regulation of gene expression occur at multiple steps going from DNA to its functional gene product, usually called protein. It began with chromatin structure, making the DNA more or less accessible for transcription by RNA polymerase. In eukaryotes, the primary mRNA transcript must be processed before it can be translated in the cytoplasm. The final level of active protein in the cell depend not only on the rate of synthesis, but also on the rate of degradation of mRNA and protein. The difference in the regulation of gene expression between prokaryotes and eukaryotes. Here the prokaryotic transcription and translations occur simultaneously in the cytoplasm, and regulation occur same in the cytoplasm, primary at the transcription level. In case of eukaryotic gene expression is regulated during transcription and RNA processing, which take place in the nucleus, and during protein translation, which take place in the cytoplasm. Further regulation may occur through post-translation modification of protein in both prokaryotes and eukaryotes. Now we start to understand the regulation of translation in eukaryote. The modulation of the amount of protein that are generated from its messenger RNA is known as translation regulation. In eukaryotes, transcription in the nucleus, mRNA processing in the nucleus, translation in the cytoplasm and DNA alternation can all regulate the synthesis of protein. These images show the translation regulation by regulatory molecule. That shows also the mRNA are made to be translated. We know that the CAP is known as capping, poly A is known as polyadenylation tail, ORF is the open reading frame and UTR is the untranslated region. On mRNA are required for efficient translation because mRNA engineered to lack or other are poorly translated. The translation regulation typically target initiation. It may be global, affecting the synthesis of many polypeptide at once, or specific or affecting a single polypeptide. Global regulation involve change in the activity of eukaryotic initiation factor, also known as or denoted as E, small e, I, F is the capital. That E stand for the eukaryotic, I stand for the initiation and F stand for the factor that would typically affect all cellular protein synthesis. A specific regulation involve binding sequence or region on one or few mRNA that recognize and bind a specific regulatory protein and on other molecules. That binding control translation of only those mRNA without affecting general protein biosynthesis. Now, start to understand the regulation of translation in eukaryotes. The first way is the regulation through change in gene. Gene can be lost from cell so that functional protein can no longer be produced. That is, during the example is during the differentiation of red blood cells. Gene can be amplified. For example, the drug methoxit caused hundreds of copies of the gene for the enzyme dihydrofluororeductase to be produced, which result in the resistance to the drug. Next is the segment of DNA can move from one location to another on the genome, associating with each other in various ways, so that different protein are produced. For example, a number of different potential sequence or arrangement occur on for various portion of the antibody producing gene. Modification of the bases in DNA affect the transcriptional activity of a gene. Cytosine can be methylated at position 5, which often occur in CpG island within a promoter region. The greater the extent of methylation, the less readily a gene is transcribed. This image shows the stages of DNA, mRNA protein pathway expression that can be controlled in between them. Here the DNA is transcribed into the primary transcript through transcriptional control, then through finally convert into mRNA, that is the RNA processing control, and this mRNA now make a protein through RNA transport control, and this protein finally go the translation control and make a mature protein. Next is the regulation of the level of transcription. A small basic protein called histone are linked to the DNA of eukaryotes and function as non-specific repressor. The charge attraction between histone and DNA is lessened when histone acetyl transferase, also known as acetylase, it is noted as HAT or HAC, that acylated the lysine side chain on histone. Histone can reassociate with DNA when histone deacetylase, noted as HDAC, remove the acetate group from them. The region of the genome that are not transcriptionally active are represented by heterochromatin, which is the close binding of histone to DNA. The term euchromatin describe region of the genome that are transcriptionally active, but have less histone interaction with DNA. Positive method boost the expression of certain gene. Steroid hormone are example of inducer that enter the cell, attach to protein receptor, interact with nucleus chromatin and activate particular gene. Multiple promoters are present in certain gene. As a result, the promoter that is employed in various cell type or under various physiological circumstances can change. Histone, which are small basic protein associated with DNA of eukaryotes act as a non-specific repressor. Histone acetyltransferase or acetylase which acylate lysine side chain on histone which reduce the charge attraction between histone and DNA. Histone deacetylase will remove the acetate group from histone, thereby allowing histone to reassociate with the DNA. Heterochromatin is the tight association of histone and DNA and represent the transcriptionally inactive area of the genome, and euchromatin refer to the transcriptionally active area of the genome in which histone association with DNA has been reduced. The expression of a specific gene is stimulated by positive mechanism. Inducer, the example is steroid hormone, enter the cell, bind to the protein receptor, interact with chromatin in the nucleus and activate a specific gene. Some genes have more than one promoter. Thus, the promoter that is used can differ from under the varying condition of physiological conditions such as and in different cell type. This image shows the gene expression can be controlled by the factor that bind to the translation initiation. The translation to begin a protein called eukaryotic initiation factor 2 EIF2 must bind to a part of the ribosome called small subunit. The binding of EIF2 is controlled by phosphorylation or addition of a phosphate group to the protein. When EIF2 is phosphorylated, it turns off, it undergoes shape change and can no longer play its role in initiation, so translation cannot begin. When EIF2 is not phosphorylated, in contrast it's on and carry out its role in initiation, allowing translation to proceed. In this way, phosphorylation of EIF2 act as a switch turning translation on or off. Inactivation of translation can be a good strategy, a period when cell cannot afford to make a new protein. For example, when the cell is starving for nutrients. Third, the regulation of translation in eukaryotes is regulated by the regulation by chromatin remodeling, the displacement of nucleosome to allow transcription to happen, and the acylated histone containing section of DNA will attach to the ATP driving chromatin remodeling complex. The complex protein bromodomain are able to identify the acylated histone. After binding, the complex will move and push histone to clear a region of DNA for transcription using ATP as its energy source. In order to facilitate the removal of histone from DNA and the engagement of the transcription apparatus, histone acetylase activity is frequently linked to the transcription factor that bind to the area of DNA that need to be transcribed. This image is show the histone methylation and acetylation in relation to the chromatin remodeling. Here the blue section is show the histone, red is the process of methylation and green is the acetylation, and this thread like structure is the DNA. So, this image shows the histone methylation. Adding a methyl group to the tail of histone core protein leads to the histone methylation, which in turn lead to the adoption of a condensed state of chromatin called heterochromatin. Heterochromatin block transcription machinery from binding to DNA. As a result, transcription repressure occurs. The addition of acetyl group to lysine residue in the N terminal tail of histone causes histone acetylation, which lead to the adoption of a relaxed state of chromatin called euchromatin. In this state, transcription factor and other protein can bind to their DNA binding site and proceed with active transcription. Now, the fourth is the regulation during processing and transport of mRNA. A protein, amino acid sequence or amount can be changed via regulatory mechanism that take place during splicing, polyadenylation and capping of the mRNA. Additionally, mRNA is edited and its rates of breakdown is regulated. It is possible to create distinct mRNA by showing alternative splice sites. It is possible to produce distinct mRNA by using alternative polyadenation site. Nucleases have the ability to degrade mRNA both post synthesis in the nucleus and pre-translation in the cytoplasm. After transcription, nucleotide in mRNA can be changed or edited in an RNA editing process. A small and interfering RNA, also known as siRNA or microRNA product known as miRNA, have the ability to prevent or target mRNA from being translated or cause the target mRNA to degrade. This allows for the silencing of the gene. Numerous genes, some of which have found in the neutron of gene, they regulated and produce microRNA molecule that are dispersed across the chromosome. The nucleus produce microRNA which are then often processed to create an active molecule that bind to the target RNA and inhibits its expression. The regulatory mechanism that occurs during capping, the capping is the cap structure at the 5' end of mRNA, is critical for the efficient translation, stabilization and transportation of mRNA in eukaryotes. Polyadenylation, its remove 3' end cleavage of nascent mRNA and addition of a poly A tail, which play an important role in many aspects of the cellular metabolism of mRNA. And splicing, involved in the removal or splicing out of certain sequence referred to as an intervening sequence or introns, can alter the amino acid sequence or quantity of protein produced from the mRNA. The editing of mRNA also occur at the rate of degradation of mRNA is also regulated. Alternative splice sites, alternative polyadenylation and mRNA that can be degraded. Alternative splice sites can be used to produce different mRNA. Alternative polyadenylation sites can be used to generate different mRNA, and mRNA can be degraded by nucleases after their synthesis in the nucleus and before their translation in the cytoplasm. RNA editing involves the alternation of base in the mRNA after transcription. Small and interfering RNA causes many reactions, like gene silencing can occur through the use of a small RNA product, also known as microRNA, which can either block the translation of a target mRNA or induce degradation of the target mRNA. MicroRNA molecules are the product of many genes scattered throughout the chromosome, some even located in the intron of the gene they regulated, and mRNA are synthesized in the nucleus and processed to form an active molecule that will bind to the target RNA and its accelerate expression. Next is the regulation at the translation level. It happens in the course of the elongation or initiation reaction by blocking the phosphorylation and subsequent deactivation of eukaryotic initiation factor 2, a factor involved in the start of protein synthesis. Heme promote the production of globin. Initiation is mediated when interferon induce eukaryotic initiation factor 2 phosphorylation. Translation of mRNA encoding the iron storage protein ferritin and the transferrin receptor is controlled by iron responsive element, also known as IRE, in those mRNA. When iron level are high, this component either destabilize the mRNA, the transferrin receptor, or permit the translation of mRNA ferritin. It occurs during the initiation or elongation reaction. Heme stimulate the synthesis of globin by preventing the phosphorylation and subsequent inactivation of eukaryotic initiation factor 2, a factor involved in the initiation of protein synthesis. Interferon stimulate the phosphorylation of eukaryotic initiation factor 2, causing inhibition of initiation, and the iron response element in mRNA for ferritin is the iron storage protein, and the transferrin receptor regulate translation of the respective mRNA. This element either destabilize mRNA transferring receptor or allow translation of the mRNA ferritin when iron level are high. Post translation control of gene expression: after an mRNA has been transported into the cytoplasm, it is translated to protein. Control of this process is largely dependent on the mRNA molecule. Previously discussed, the stability of mRNA will have a large impact on its translation into a protein. Translation can also be regulated at the level of binding of mRNA to the ribosome. Once the mRNA bound to the ribosome, the speed and the level of translation can still be controlled. Translation control is critical for many fundamental biological processes, including cell growth, embryonic development, and in response to biological and environmental clue. Post-translation control of gene expression: the final level of control of gene expression in eukaryotes is known as post-translation regulation. These types of control involve modifying the protein after it is made in such a way to affect its activity. One example of post-translation regulation is enzyme inhibition. When an enzyme is no longer needed, it is inhibited by the competitive or allosteric inhibitor. The competitive and allosteric inhibitor, a molecule that combine with the enzyme at the allosteric site, is known as allosteric inhibitor. The allosteric site is not similar location at the active site, and it prevents it from binding to the substrate. The inhibition is reversible, so that enzyme can be reactivated later. It is more efficient than degrading the enzyme when it is not needed and then making more when it is needed again. Translation control is widely used to regulate gene expression. This mode of regulation is specifically relevant in situations where transcription is silent or when local control over protein accumulation is required. The activity and stability of protein can also be regulated by adding functional group such as methyl, phosphate or acetyl group. Sometimes this modification can regulate where a protein is found in the cell, for example in the nucleus, the cytoplasm or attached to the plasma membrane. The addition of a ubiquitin group of a protein mark that protein for degradation. Ubiquitin act as a flag indicating that protein lifespan is complete. Tag protein are moved to the proteasome, an organelles that degrade protein, and one way to control gene expression therefore is altered by the longevity of the protein. This image shows the protein with ubiquitin tag that are marked for the degradation within the proteasome. The protein can be tagged for degradation by addition of a chemical marker called ubiquitation. Ubiquitin tag protein are taken to the proteasome or proteasome, also called recycling center of the cell, and broken down into their component part. Ubiquitination is an important way of controlling the persistence of a protein in the cell. The significance is the post-translation regulation in eukaryotes are for regulation and gene regulation during nutrition storage and stress and development and differentiation, nervous system function, aging and diseases. Translation control is essential in prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells. Chemical modification occur in response to external stimuli such as stress, that is lack of nutrients, heat or UV light expose. This change can alter epigenetic accessibility, transcription, mRNA stability or translation. As a result, change in the expression of various genes. This is an inefficient way for the cell to rapidly change the level of a specific protein in response to the environment. Summary: within each cell, eukaryotic organism express a portion of a DNA that is encoded. Gene expression genome govern the kind and quality of a protein present in each type of cells. A protein must first be translated from DNA into RNA in order to be expressed. Translation take place in cytoplasm of eukaryotic cells, whereas transcription take place in the nucleus. Gene expression is controlled at the transcriptional, post-transcriptional, translation and post-translation level in eukaryotic cells. Gene regulation is the process of controlling which cells in the DNA are expressed, that used to be make a functional protein. Different cells in a multicellular organism may express very different sets of genes even though they contain the same DNA. The set of genes expressed in the cell determine the set of protein and functional RNA it's contained, giving its unique property. In eukaryotes like human, gene expression involves many steps and the gene regulation can occur at any of each step. However, many genes are regulated primarily at the level of transcription. Now, the topic to be covered in next lecture is on post-translation modification, where we understand what are post-translation modification of protein, learn various type of post-translation modification method to make a new protein such as phosphorylation, ubiquitination, glycosylation and cleavage, as well as post-translation modification example. We understand how the purpose of post-translation modification is fulfilled and how the post-translation modification help in maintaining the biological activity within a cell. References: the Smith is the basic medical biochemistry and clinical approach book. David and Hams is the biochemistry book, molecular biology of gene and cell biology and genetic molecular biology and ecology by P.S. Verma and V.K. Agarwal. Thank you. I hope a student will understand this topic very well.